Calling to order the Municipality of Monroeville's Citizens Night and Agenda Setting Meeting for Tuesday, June 4th, 2024. It is approximately 7:05 p.m. Would all please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated. Could I have a roll call, please?
Mayor Griesbach?
Here.
Mr. Hisner?
Here.
Mr. Poach?
Here.
Mr. Stevenson?
Here.
Mr. Crut?
Here.
Mr. Adams?
Here.
Mr. Williams?
Here.
Mr. Biondo?
Here.
Mr. Graziani?
Here.
Mr. Ratcher?
Here.
Ms. Rock?
Here.
Mr. Hugus?
Here.
Mr. Sedlak?
Here.
Mr. Weldon?
Here.
Welcome. This is our Citizens Night and our agenda setting meeting for our June regular council meeting. We're going to start the meeting with our citizens comment period. This is for any citizen or taxpayer to address council on any municipal item. We always ask that you keep your comments to a 5-minute time period. You will also have another opportunity at next Tuesday's regular council meeting at the end of the meeting for any municipal item. At the start of next week's meeting, there's also a comment period for any agenda item. But this comment period that we're going to open up right now is for any municipal item. If anyone would like to address council, now would be your chance to do so.
I'll go first.
And once you're set up, if you could just state your name for the record.
Sure. Can everyone see the display? Is it up there?
It takes a minute.
Yeah, we'll get the
Okay.
camera on that in a moment.
All right, well, I'll state my name and my reason for being here. My name is Pat Rogas. We've been residents of Monroeville for 46 years. We live on Willow Hedge Drive. Our issue today, and my husband will speak after me, is regarding the Clover development and the violations, repeated violations, for well over a year now of time. Seems not to... And so first of all, our house is the one shaded in yellow. We're the third house in. As you can see, this is the Clover development. The main roads come in, and this is basically right behind our house where the road connects, is the starting point. That's where they drop off the workers every morning around 6 o'clock in the morning, and also where the porta-johns are, and over here is where they store all their equipment. They drop all the supplies off there, so we're right behind the main congestion area. The workers, according to the addendum that they signed in resolution, they were not to work between 7 p.m. and 7 a.m. By the way, I have everyone to have a handout of these for everyone in council, so you get a handout when I'm done, please. Again, on June 8th, approximately a year ago, a letter was sent to Mr. Hugus, Mr. Weldon, Mr. Biondo, and the mayor regarding times that they were not doing. Again, we had said at 6 o'clock a.m. They were doing construction then, and also we stated in here that our neighbors were also complaining prior to that. So our letter was subsequent to them complaining. This was a year ago that they were violating and being at 6 a.m. Here we go to March 7th. Out my back room window, I had had cancer surgery, trying to recover from cancer surgery, supposedly getting rest and resting in the morning. I see this light shining in my bedroom window, 6:01 in the morning. So I go, what's going on? Again, 6:05, you can see construction vehicles moving around. 6:23, pouring concrete. And you notice this vehicle here, this truck. You'll see that subsequently in other pictures as well. They imported a big light and stationed it there so they could work early in the morning. Not just using natural light, but brought in a light so they could work early in the morning. And subsequently, also in the evening, at 8 o'clock, they have the light there, so they're working at 7:49 in the evening on March 7th. Again, we've spoken with Mr. Weldon on it. Very graciously, he issued a stop work order. Supposedly then, they were going to not work outside of those hours. However, that's not occurring. Several days later, they were back to working at 6 o'clock in the morning again. Fast forward to April 24th, again, early in the morning, we contacted Mr. Weldon and Mr. Biondo, typically, who gets the wrath of our emails and texts. Mr. Weldon again said he's having another discussion with the developer today. Again, no further actions taken, so I'm on April 24th. In essence of jumping ahead to save my time, I'm going to jump to May 7th. Here they are at 5:30 in the morning doing construction, which is ridiculous to me. 7 o'clock is time. 5 o'clock and 5:30 is way too early. I don't want up then, and I'm sure probably many of you don't. Here he's saying he's going to get them to try to install a gate with a lock so that the foreman or supervisor would unlock it. And he graciously came over to our house and met with us and our neighbor, Mr. Wilden is who I'm referring to discuss this further. However, that's May 7th. So what happens? May 8th, they're there at 6:11. May 9th, 6:40. Friday, May 10th, 6:07. Monday, May 13th, 6:10. So what good was that discussion? Basically, in the stop work order, basically none. Now I'm going to fast forward again to last Thursday. I hear beep, 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 backup beepers. Bright lights again through my window, because this is where they, again, on the drawing, they can turn and come back and back up. So I go out to my window, go to the window and take a picture at 5:05. And what's there at 5:05? This big truck, 5:06. So then I thought, well, maybe I can get a little bit of rest since I was doing a work from home day and didn't need to be at a meeting until 8 o'clock. Oh, heck no. I hear, hey, hey, hey. So I go to my window again, and it's all the workers congregating, because you can hear them. They're 100 feet from my backyard. You can clearly hear everything. 40 yards, no more than 40 yards. You can hear everything. So they're there, and again, notice this truck. This is the same vehicle that was on the March 7th picture when they were given a stop work order and told not to do this again. So some of these people are the same people. So fast forward again, Monday, yesterday, they're bringing in this digger at 6:14 a.m. So there's 3 vehicles there between 6:14 and 6:27. This one here, you can see the worker going into the building at 6:27. Again, another violation. So Mr. Biondo and Mr. Ugas again, or Mr. Weldon again, get back with us with this email, which I'm going to read in depth so you understand this a little bit better for a moment. So this is back from Mr. Biondo stating,
Ms.
Paul,
Rogas, that's your 5 minutes. However, if your husband was going to speak as well, do you
can I
want,
use 2 of his minutes?
do you want to, I'll allow, because if you're going to be talking about, since you're both going to be talking about the same item,
I only need 2 more minutes.
I'll allow it.
I'm almost done. So it says, Paul visited the construction site from 5:30 to 7 Friday morning and witnessed about a dozen vehicles on the site by 6 a.m. with work being performed prior to 7 o'clock. He notified the developer, Kelly Getz from Clover, and informed them that the situation will continue to be monitored and aggressive corrective action, revoke permits, may be administered by the municipality if there are any more violations of the construction hours set forth in the developer's agreement. Kelly was surprised to hear the workers were on the site prior to 7 a.m. He claims he made it very clear to the foreman that no one was to be on the site before 7 a.m. He told Paul he will install a gate, which again was supposedly going to be discussed a month ago, etc. Today, they're there again at 6:05, and again, multiple trucks at 6:24. So I want to know who is Mr. Getz and what authority does he have? Who is the manager? Who signed the stop work order? What is Monroeville going to do? We want a gate. We want this stopped. I don't want up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I want them fined. If the other noise violations were there, people would be fined. I think that's what happened. In the airport road, if you're going to put a gate for this, we also need the airport road closed because they use that also many times a day as well. So subsequent from here, if there's other further action, I'm going to send each one of you an email so you know what's going on every morning, not just Mr. Wilden and Dennis and occasionally the mayor, but everyone on council so everyone can hear that in the future. We want to be good neighbors, but apparently they don't. Thank you. You need your minutes. Go.
Is this company still under?
She left you some time, yes.
Shake my minute.
She left you some time.
Shake my
If you,
minute.
you can just state your name for the record, please.
Richard Rogas, 306 Willow Hedge Drive in Monroeville. I want to thank council for being here and listening to our concerns. I want to thank Dennis and Paul Wilden for their responsiveness to our concerns. We've dealt them many times. Dennis received 12 texts the other day from me, and he doesn't like to be woken up at 5 o'clock in the morning either. But I don't like to do that as well. I'm just here to get some peace and quiet, folks. I just want some peace and quiet before 7. That's not asking for too much. It's really not asking for too much to get some peace and quiet. Now, what I'm not understanding is, the municipality has a code. It's specific and it's clear. There's a development agreement, and that development agreement incorporates the code requirement. It is clear and specific. It's agreed upon. There was a stop work order issued, and Mr. Weldon talked to the senior construction official who agreed that 7 o'clock is reasonable and appropriate. And lastly, when we were discussing the propriety of the whole project last time, we received assurances from everyone here on council and from the mayor's office that the codes would be complied with, that all of the ordinances, all of the noise, all of the safety ordinances and codes would be complied with. We've received that assurance. So with those 4 things, I'm just really struggling. I'm just really struggling with why we have to go through what Pat just showed you. I'm just struggling with that. Let me just describe briefly the activity zone that Pat's talking about. Maybe that's why the rest of our community is not here. The activity zone that Pat described, I won't maybe need this on. It's where the lumber, all of the lumber for the site came into that activity zone. It was loaded and offloaded from that. It's not there anymore because the project's up. There was a mobile shed where they put the ladders in and out. That was directly and immediately behind our house, 100 feet away. The workers come in the vans. They get dropped off directly behind my house, 100 feet away. The cars parked there in that activity zone. There's a road that comes in, 2 narrow roads, and then it spreads out, so the cars just park right there, immediately behind the house. There's a large dumpster filled with trash, and it's catty-cornered to my house, but it's there in the activity zone. There are porta-johns immediately and directly behind my house. There's a gravel pile off catty-corner to my house, but again, it's a staging zone. The large delivery trucks pull up and back and forth, and that staging area is, again, directly right behind my house. We had one such delivery truck. It came in on a Sunday night. The fellow arrived 12 hours late, and he intended to sleep there overnight and to idle his truck all night long. And he was idling it for hours until the neighbor next door called the police and told him that he couldn't idle his truck. That truck was 105 feet from my property. And I think he slept there all night because the truck was there. None of you would put up with that. None of you. None of you would put up with that. The office for the construction trailer, it's not directly behind my house, but it's off category. So maybe that's why the rest of the neighborhood, okay, so anyhow, please, we're not asking for the world. We're not asking for any special treatment, no special favors, please. All we're asking is for the code to be enforced, please. And the answer's there, that gate would enforce it. When all else fails, a physical gate would do the trick. Thank you so much. I appreciate your time.
Thank you. I'll leave the floor open for anyone who'd like to address council on any municipal item.
You have an extra one for her.
I have.
Paul, did the developer get fined?
Michael,
for-
hey, 1 second, just let me. Is there anyone who'd like to address council on any municipal item? We'll come back to this in a second.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Are you here for the development?
No. I have another item.
Separate
First-
item.
Separate item.
If you could
First
just
of
state your
all,
name for the record and
My name
welcome.
is Nicholas Michael Marie. I have the Esther Restaurant.
Welcome, Nick.
We are the longest original owners in Monroeville. Sure. We are beginning our 70th year, October 5th. We have, first of all, I'd like to say to council and also to you, Mayor, thank you for saving Convention Center. Thank you for saving that convention center. That is a big part of our business. PennDOT has us all screwed up. They got us tied in, out. You can't get in and out of my place. I go out physically, move the cones so that people can get in and out. My business is down 65% in gross sales. Next to me, I talked to the managers. They're down. Wendy's is down $2,000 to $3,000 a day. Denny's is down 45%. We can't do anything about PennDOT, and I totally understand that because PennDOT overrides everything. But is there anywhere, any place we can get a grant to get us through this? Is there anyone we can ask? Anybody that we can get grant money to get us through this and then go from there? We don't know how long this is gonna be there. I talked to, their managers who walk up and down the street. First time it was gonna be, oh, we'll just be here to middle May. Now they said, now we're gonna be here to the end of June. Now they say, oh, we'll probably be done by July. All right? They're here over 6 months. My business is down 65%. We've paid Monroeville taxes for 70 years. We've done everything we could to. We need help. Business people here in Monroeville need help. Where do we get it? I'm here at council asking, what do I do? Who can I call? I talked to Mr. Markosik. He said he would bring it up in Harrisburg. When he brought it up in Harrisburg, he says there's no grant money. Well, come on, you're gonna kill us all. You know, you have all the corporate restaurants there, they can carry it because 2 of their other places can carry them. I'm a single operations by myself. And I'm asking for help. If you're any way that you can tell me where to go, who to ask, who to talk to, I'd be happy to do that. But this is killing Monroeville. And then you turn around and add another 1.5 mils on a school tax. Come on.
Well, that's not us.
I know it's not you, but I just want to make it that you understand we're being taxed to death too. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mike.
I'll leave the floor open for anyone who'd like to address council on any municipal item. Hearing none, we're going to close the comment period. And Nick, we can circle back with Representative Markosik, maybe Senator Brewster, but it would probably be from the state is what, if there'd be any kind of, I don't know what we could do from a municipal standpoint, but we can certainly follow back up with them and maybe they have some other ideas. And then as far as the Clover development, I know we spoke last week over the phone, and you have every right to be, upset and frustrated, and this is upsetting for as long as it's been going on. We have a meeting set up, it's tomorrow, Mr. Wielden? Thursday. So the developer, the authority, the strongest thing we could do as a council, and I think we're at this point, is we could pull their permit, revoke their permit, and that would take them a long time to get it back. So that is going to be stressed to them on Thursday, because that's unacceptable what you're going through.
Thank you for your help.
So we'll follow up with you later in the week whenever we have more information. So I'm going to move over through our agenda, council. I have an executive session announcement that council conducted an executive session on Tuesday, May 28th, 2024, from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. regarding matters pertaining to real estate, and on Tuesday, June 4th, from 6:15 to 7 p.m. for matters pertaining to real estate. Council legislative action, if any, shall be taken at next Tuesday's June 11th council meeting. Council, the minutes for us to consider for this month are the Citizens Night meeting of May 7th, 2024, the council agenda-setting meeting of May 7th, 2024, and the regular council meeting of May 14th, 2024. Any questions, comments, additions, corrections, council, of those minutes? Hearing none. The reports of the tax collections. Council, any questions or comments about those? Hearing none. List of bills and budget transfers. Council, any questions? Hearing none. Thank you. We're moving on. Payroll report. Council, any questions or comments? Hearing none. Moving through the agenda, these items will all be considered. My 5 minutes are up, actually. These items will all be considered next Tuesday at our June 11th council meeting. Moving to our consent agenda, old business is 24-2-SUB, Roy Musser. Mr. Graziani, please.
Before I start, do we have any more from them, from the applicant? Okay.
No, nothing.
So applicant is requesting preliminary and final subdivision approval to subdivide tax parcel 861-A-119 into 3 lots. Lot 1 with acreage of 0.1056 acres, Lot 2 with an acreage of 2.0991 acres, and Parcel A with an acreage of 0.7925. In the S Conservancy zoning district, the property is located at 1876 Haymaker Road. Variances were granted for the proposed nonconformities created by the subdivision. Zoning Hearing Board file number 24-A-1-A. And again, this has been tabled, and we assume it's going to continue to be some, at least through next week.
Well, the applicant has now requested withdrawal of the
Okay.
application?
Sorry.
Is that true?
Correct.
Okay.
Withdrawn.
So,
Next week.
next week.
Yeah,
We
you
accept
can act on the
withdrawal.
withdrawal. I mean, it's, if
We-
he's withdrawn it, that's the end of it.
But we have
You
to
can-
take it off the table.
Yeah, you can take it off the table.
Not now.
Theoretically, it doesn't exist anymore.
Okay.
Can we just drop it from the agenda?
Yeah, from my point of view. I mean, some places they want to act on the withdrawal, but if somebody withdraws, what are you acting on?
Okay.
So,
So what's your legal recommendation, Mr. Solicitor?
let's act on the withdrawal next week,
Very good.
and then that way we're all buttoned up.
I think that's a good idea. Mr. Graziani,
Mr. Mayor,
Oh.
I got a question on this.
please.
Variances were granted, being the applicant requests withdrawal of the application, does that do away with these variances?
No, they would expire in 6 months if
6
nothing's
months.
undertaken, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Next item, Mr. Graziani, that would be our new business, 24-4-SUB John Silvestri.
Applicant is requesting preliminary and final subdivision approval to subdivide tax parcels 638-F-74 into 2 lots. Lot 1 with a total acreage of 0.76 acres, and Lot 2 with a total area of 0.958 acres in the R2 single-family or single multifamily residential zoning district. The property is located at 3668 Northern Pike. The Planning Commission recommends approval with conditions.
Will we see those conditions?
They're in the resolution, I believe.
They should be in the packet.
Yeah, I'm looking for them now.
It's the standard list that we have with
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
resolutions.
It's the second page of the resolution, Bob.
Orange.
The orange sheet.
Hey, Paul, is this a Sweeney property?
It is.
Thank you.
Sir, welcome. If you want to,
Who asked if it's the Swaney property? Hi, my name's John Silvestri. I'm here with my wife Marlene. We've been looking for a place to build in Monroeville for about 9 or 10 months. And when we saw this property, is the overhead on?
we'll get it on in a moment. Jared, if you could.
There it is.
We will zoom
Okay.
in.
What I have are 2 shots. These were taken last weekend. I've cut the grass since last weekend. I've been cutting lots of grass every week since we purchased the property in November. My wife and I are interested in building a home on this property. When we saw it, as you can see it, it's lovely. It's flat. It's perfect. The issue that we had when we bought it was there is a back part of it, and we quickly learned, I called Mr. Ratcher to ask for a recommendation on someone to draw a subdivision because I was interested in subdividing the lower level off. There's a 25-foot drop, and you can see that on the subdivision plan. The Northern Pike lot is here. That's the flat area that you saw. The lower level you get to by going down Iva Street, which is a public dedicated road, but it has not been accepted as a street for maintenance by Monroeville. So this back lot has this structure on it. We went through the zoning board for variances for the dimensions to accommodate the subdivision. And what we have back here let me see, okay, seeing how I'm pointing. You have this part of the structure that was built in 1960. That comes from the official property record cards of Allegheny County. And then this part was built about 1972. That's when Mr. Swaney purchased the property. If you look at the 1972 addition to the 1960, what you see on the inside are two large garage doors and a people door, which are on this part of this. So what we're interested in doing is having our residence on the front lot and building a residence on the back lot. When we build the residence on the back lot, this garage building becomes a garden, ordinary version of a garage. Having been educated about the history of this property, which I would consider problematic, what I did is I went to the Allegheny County Board of Assessment, and I don't know if you can see this card. This was a property record card that I purchased for the property when it was under agreement. I just wanted to learn as much as I could about the property as we were entering the period of purchasing it. And I don't know if you can read it, but this is a commercial property record card. And because the intent is to use it only for residential purposes and to guarantee that no one can use it for commercial purposes, because I didn't mention this. This is all R2 zoning for this property, but if you go behind the property in the direction of Route 22, it's S Conservancy, right behind the property. So I wanted to make sure that we stamped out any commercial use of it. I went to the Board of Assessment. I raised the issue that this is zoned residential. I intend to use it for residential purpose. And what we have now, it became official about the middle of last night, is a property record card that now considers this residential property by the Allegheny County government. I hope I haven't taken too much of your time. If you have any questions, I'm glad to answer them here and now.
I have a question, but it's not for you, sir. It'd be for Paul 3. 5 and 6 of the resolution. 5 says compliance with Monroeville engineers' requirements with letter dated 7th of May, 2024. Has that been done?
Yes.
And the following one, compliance with Allegheny County and the economic development dated the same?
Correct.
And that's been done also?
Correct, yes.
Good enough. Thank you.
And then it looks like from the satellite, I mean, we're looking at the satellite picture, so it could be upside down. We're looking at it on our
okay.
phones. Yeah. It appears there's a road, the roadway that you said that was not accepted runs up the side of it, but you're gonna live from Northern Pike, the back part, right?
No, the
Flat part.
the flat part.
Okay. I was just saying, you're gonna still have access. Yeah,
Yes.
access is not gonna be an issue with the road or.
No, it's an official street on a subdivision. The subdivision was recorded sometime in the early 1970s, very close in time when Mr. Swaney purchased the property.
Mr. Sylvester, when you build your first house on the lot closest to Northern Pike, where's your driveway gonna access? Ivor Street or Northern Pike?
We don't have architect plans yet. I'm going to defer to the architect. We'll get a rough draft. And then, just like I came to see you before I wanted to discuss subdivision, I'll come to you again and show you the plan, and you can critique it just like you critiqued, and we're very helpful. I mean, I'm very appreciative of the guidance that you've given in pointing out the ordinances and how I should conduct myself in going through these proceedings.
When you're working with your architect, it would be preferred if your driveway accessed Iva and not Northern Pike.
Okay,
If you can make that work.
yes, I think that would work.
Do we have?
And that's something that has nothing to do with our subdivision for this item for next Tuesday, but that's something you guys can hash out
Yes.
before you start hammer and nails.
Yes, we are here to build for retirement. We're here to have peace. We're here to enjoy.
Great.
And we will participate in your government however you decide that we can be helpful.
Mr. Hugus and myself both grew up right there in that area. And
Oh, you did?
And it's good to see a responsible citizen moving into that area. So as neighbors, we glad to have you.
Yes, and I'm enjoying the neighbors on both sides of me.
Yes,
It's wonderful.
yes.
We're out in the yards talking to one another several times a week.
Do you realize that flat part of that land is about 25 feet of fill?
No.
Don't scare him off, Bob.
Figure that out, but it's about 25
fill
feet of
area.
fill at least.
Well, we plan no basement. It's going to be ranch so that we can
Grant,
just
okay,
walk
They can do a
around.
floating foundation with it, then. Okay.
You can meet with the historian afterwards, okay?
Oh, no, it's perfect. I love
Great.
it. I love it.
Very good.
I learned that Northern Pike used to be, from a neighbor walking through, Northern Pike used to be called Turnpike Road, and it was a stagecoach road
It was.
in the
Yeah.
1800s,
Yeah.
yes.
The
I'm-
stagecoach stop was right across the street, right over here.
Okay,
And then it went
cool.
on to Greensburg, yeah, that's correct.
Okay,
Yeah, there's 3 northern pikes in the area.
yes.
One across 48, the one that we live on, or you're going to live on.
Yes.
And then there's one in Eastmont,
They were all connected.
used to be connected.
Yep.
But anyhow,
Yeah, well, we'll consider the subdivision next Tuesday, but we're excited about your project, almost as excited as you are. I mean, we're really
Thank you
happy.
very much.
Yeah, it's great. So we'll consider this next Tuesday for this subdivision. Moving on to our next item, 24-1-C, Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Mr. Graziani, please.
The applicant is requesting conditional use approval pursuant to Article 5, Section 504, KK, vehicle leasing / rental or sales of the Monroeville zoning ordinance, number 2779, to establish a vehicle rental business. The property is located at 120 Mall Boulevard and known as tax parcel ID 639-C-120 in the Boulevard zoning district. And I guess this is the former Don Pablo's
Yes.
restaurant. It's at the At Home.
Correct.
Yeah.
So this is a public hearing item?
Yeah, I know, I
Yes.
heard about it. So he sent me a text.
There's no,
I didn't.
anybody here to represent the applicant?
No?
My recommendation would be that council, and if they're not here well, they're not here tonight, which is the advertised public hearing. My recommendation would be for you to table it and get in touch with them and tell them that they missed the bus.
Make a motion to table.
Well, that'd
No, we
be
can't.
next Tuesday.
Yeah, you'll have to make the motion on Tuesday, even though the hearing's tonight.
Do we have to get notices back out for the public hearing for next month?
Well, if, we can do our internal notices, if
Yeah,
it's
that's what I mean.
advertised and it's continued, we don't have to worry about re-advertising, which is the big issue.
Was there anyone here in this meeting from the public to, here for this item? In the large crowd, just to make sure?
I think we've heard from everybody already.
We have, I know, but maybe it's more of a, just a.
Yeah.
In the event, perhaps, they can make it for Tuesday, that might be a possibility as well, but I don't know, can we do that with the advertising requirements?
You're good on the advertising if you just table it. Obviously, you can't have the hearing on Tuesday night because the hearing was advertised tonight. So
Okay.
I would exercise
Okay.
some caution there.
Very good,
They're just gonna have to wait till next month.
okay. Moving on to our motions.
Real quick, is there a problem that the next month is the 2nd of July? Is there an advertising issue that we have? That's my real concern, I guess, is,
We have 60 days to hold a hearing.
okay.
So when was the application? Do we know? Paul?
Last month.
Yeah, it went through planning commission in one shot.
Okay.
So we didn't lose any time there, 30 days, another 30 days.
Yeah. What you can do when you get in touch with them is tell them that we need a waiver of the time limits and,
I usually get that.
yeah, okay. That way we're covered. on
And
that
then
issue.
they're moving
Yeah.
out of Johnette Plaza, I take it?
Yes,
Oh, is that the deal? That's-
Well, I would say, I
Yes.
wonder if they're.
relocating.
And are they keeping the existing building, or are they tearing it down, or are they just re?
Very minimal renovations.
Yeah, I would think they'd keep it. That's a pretty good building.
One thing about Enterprise Rent a Car, any of those facilities that you go to, they're nice and clean. There's no junk or trash laying around. They keep a nice site.
So we'll consider this at a later time. Council, moving to our motions for this month. We have two to consider for next Tuesday. Mr. Graziani, please.
Motion to accept the resignation of Tim Lionelli from the Planning Commission.
Okay. Next item.
Discussion regarding the rescheduling of the August Citizens Night and agenda setting meeting on, which is scheduled for Tuesday, August 6th, due to the National Night Out. So it's something, whether we want to have that tonight, or if you want to share with me your thoughts for next week. In the past, you had both this meeting and National Night Out, and it's been a little bit of consternation of trying to get the both, be two places at one time. And, might even want to consider taking your show on the road and having a public meeting at National Night Out, but that's something for y'all to discuss and think about.
No.
Council, any comments on that at this point, or do you want to think about it and talk about it again next Tuesday?
I think when we've moved stuff, we've moved
Change
stuff to
the date.
Thursdays previously. I don't know if that's I think that's an option here, to move it to the 8th.
That would be an option. And yeah, well, the options could be have it like we did last time. We all kind of went over, and then we scrambled over here to have the meeting, which wasn't ideal, but we
There was time.
got it done. There was time.
Much going on.
Especially if it's a light agenda. We could move it to a different day, or as Mr. Grazian suggested, we could have one over in the park and have our agenda-setting meeting, because that would be the agenda-setting meeting, not the regular council meeting. We could have an agenda-setting meeting at the park, under one of the pavilions.
Move
How would Jared feel about that?
move it to the 8th.
Jared can take the show on the road anywhere.
Jared can do anything.
Yeah.
I mean,
But at any rate, we don't need to decide that
Fair,
tonight.
fair.
Let's think about that, and we can talk about it next Tuesday.
increase our attendance.
Council, moving to our ordinances for the month. We have one to consider for next Tuesday. Mr. Ratcher, please.
An ordinance of the Municipality of Monroeville amending ordinance number 2784, the 2024 fee schedule, to remove the miscellaneous fee section under the timber harvesting section of the ordinance. If you look back in your packet, this ordinance is in yellow, and attached to it is, on the second page, you'll see, look down about a third of the page, timber harvesting. It refers to miscellaneous fees. When we amended the timber harvesting ordinance a couple of years ago, we neglected to take this miscellaneous fee section out of the fee schedule, which is, of course, a separate document from the ordinance itself. So this is just a housekeeping item to get this out of here so we comply with the state law referred to as acre, which regulates timber harvesting all over the state.
Okay, any questions or comments, council? We will consider it next Tuesday. Moving to our reports of municipal staff. Mr. Ratcher, do you have anything else?
Nothing, I've had talked enough.
Thank you. Mr. Graziani.
I gave my report for you as an addition. It wasn't in the packet. I apologize for that. Community Day is coming up this Saturday. So if you haven't registered to race, it's only $25. Just be there at 8 a.m. and you can run in the 5K. But 10 a.m. is when the activities start in earnest. We have a household hazardous cleanup day coming up on Saturday, June 22nd from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. We are also introducing new security systems here at the building. And over time, things will change on how people come into the building. So there may be like a buzzer system where you're coming in and you'll get buzzed in, like you would at a doctor's office or so many other public buildings these days. Just trying to keep this building safer. Eventually, we'll be rolling out some of those things at the senior center and the library, and different things in the park as well, just security, whether those be cameras or other kinds of things. Again, lot changes over time, and one of those things is keeping our building and our people safe. That's it for this evening. Oh, I would say about one thing about Jared. Amazing job for Memorial Day. If anyone was able to see, they have amazing abilities to do like what they did on that day. And this was my first parade in Monroeville. And I know many told me that in years past, there would be a lot more people there. But despite that, it made me very proud to work here, just seeing the people lined up at 8 a.m. anywhere along that to pay honor and their respects to the soldiers and families who have given all in previous engagements. So it was just really moving and impressive, quite frankly, to see that in this community, Memorial Day still matters.
Indeed. Thank you, Mr. Graziani. Mr. Hugus, anything this evening?
No, sir.
Ms. Rock, thank you. We'll move on to reports of our council members. Mr. Hizzy, anything?
Yeah, just one thing, with Mr. Graziani says, Community Days is this Saturday at the park. I'm on the water board. Please come up, register to win a free year of paid water and storage bill from us. So we'll be giving away, that's something to come up to and see us. Also, remember, July 4th parade's gonna start up too. So I hope to see everybody. It was a little bit of a disappointing crowd for Memorial Day, based on the weather and everything, I understand. But I assured Mr. Graziano that July 4th is something to see in Monroeville. So I hope to see everybody there. That's all I have.
Thank you. Mr. Poach?
Nothing else this evening.
Thank you. Mr. Stevenson?
I sympathize with Nick and Marie's, I honestly do. I eat there on a regular basis. Unfortunately, this is something that needs to be done. The roads need fixed. And they're getting closer to finishing. They're milling now, they're getting ready to pave. So it's not fun driving out there, let alone trying to go to a restaurant. I just wish everybody would try to be a little more patient for a little longer, and we'll get through that. That's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you. Mr. Crut?
Nothing, thank you.
Mr. Adams?
Nothing, Mayor.
Mr. Williams?
Like Mr. Stevens said, they are starting to mill parts of Route 22. When it's done, it's going to be a great piece of highway for a lot of years to come. And I want to commend the Triangle Construction Company for clearing things up for the May the 30th Memorial Day Parade. They did a great job. It was clear, and I don't think the residents realized how clear it was going to be. And 4th of July should be the same thing. So come on out, enjoy the parade, fireworks at night, and thank you for listening.
Mr. Biondo?
Yeah, a couple things tonight. Jared, can we do the logo contest winner first?
Oh, the parade, yes.
So every year they have a logo, 4th of July logo contest. This year's winner was Alexa Katu. This is the logo. The logo that's being shown right now is one she created. Jared has an interview that he recorded with her, I believe it was today. He should have that posted on YouTube later this week or early next week. And
I believe she's a graduating senior.
yes, and she did. Yes, thank you. She graduated just yesterday or
Last night.
last night.
Last night.
So congratulations on the logo contest as well as the graduation, and congratulations to all the seniors who graduated from whatever high school you graduated. Also, like everyone else said, I don't know if you have another image for the 4th of July, but the 4th of July parade will start at 9 a.m. at the Miracle Mile. There you go. Thank you, Jared. And the fireworks are 9:30 at the mall annex. All of that takes place on the 4th of July. And Monroeville TV will be streaming all of it on their YouTube channel or Comcast channel 21 and Verizon channel 45. Sorry, I have Verizon. It's not a plug. And that's all I have.
Very good.
Make motion to adjourn.
Public comments. I have one more item.
Actually, the comment period's over. We can talk after the meeting, and I'll give you an opportunity next Tuesday.
I'm past it, sir. You didn't ask for it.
No.
Public comment.
For this agenda-setting meeting and the regular council, or in the agenda-setting meeting and the council citizens' night meeting on the first Tuesday of the month, the comment period is at the beginning of the meeting. And then what we're doing is we are setting the agenda for next Tuesday, which includes a comment period at the end. So that's what you're seeing on there is the agenda for next week that we're approving tonight. So,
I think
Well,
what he's saying
that's the way
is,
it's printed.
Did we have a comment to start the second part, is what he's saying? You know, when we went in
No,
from
that's-
Citizens Night. Yeah, that's what I thought.
We have, that's not how we do it, but I appreciate you as always, but that's not how we do it. With that, I would seek a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you and good night. This meeting's adjourned.